In my last video, I was talking about alternatives to the New Year's resolution, one of them being choosing a guiding word instead. In this video, I want to walk you through my process of not just picking a word out of a hat that sounds good, but really deliberately finding a word that serves your goals, your needs, and really helps to guide you through the new year. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I actually have a small course on how to choose your guiding word. And what I'm gonna do in this video is walk you through the steps that are in that course, giving you some tools and some tips and strategies that you can use right now. However, if you would like to take this a little bit deeper, you'll find a link below to that entire course, as well as a special discount just for those watching this video. Your very first step to choosing a guiding word is to set the mood for the process. And by mood, what I mean is creating a space and setting some intentions. There's a lot of ways that you can do this, but the first thing that you need to do is just find some open time on your calendar where you can sit down undisturbed and go through this process. I also like to grab my favorite pen. I actually like to print out the worksheets so that I can do this longhand, and I'll diffuse my favorite oils for this process. Namely, I like clary sage, which is all about clarity, as well as frankincense, which is a very spiritual oil to just kind of open up your intuition. When it comes to setting the intention, I recommend that you set an intention based on how you want the process to go. Whether you want to go through it calmly, whether you want to have fun, whether you want to make sure that anything that comes up during the process stays on the page, whatever it might be, set those intentions ahead of time with any sort of rituals or practices that you prefer. The second step is to do reflection on your past year, or if you're doing this based around a season of life or closing the chapter, then you'll want to look at it in terms of that instead. I recommend doing this in two different ways, and I'm going to share some of the questions that are in the course to help inspire you. The first way is to look at the challenges that have happened over this past year or season of your life. And some questions that might help you to do that are things like just simply what challenged you the most in this past year, but also what got neglected this year and how did it get neglected, or why did it get neglected? This is going to give you a lot of insight that you're going to use in the following steps. But don't just focus on the negative. I also want you to focus on the positive, and some questions that will help you to do that are what got prioritized this year, how and why. And yes, I realize that this could actually be negative if you were prioritizing the wrong things. Also, what was absolutely wonderful about this past year? Who or what never failed you? What were your top achievements? Things like this will help you to do the reflection on where you've been, which will give you the insight of where you want to go next. I would love for you to drop me a comment below and let me know your biggest wins of this past year. Step number 3 is about bringing closure to the past year of your life. And some questions that might help you to do that are things like, is there anything, habits, choices, projects, or commitments from the past year that you need to release before you can move forward? Is there anyone from the past year you need to forgive? Asking questions like that helps you to do a little bit of planning of what you want to do before you move ahead into the next year. If we don't take the time to bring closure to things, a lot of times we feel like we're dragging this year into the next one. And I don't know about you, but dragging this past year into the next one is not my idea of fun. Step number 4 is to take all of this that you've just worked on, all the questions that you've answered, everything you've journaled out, and look for patterns or lessons. The lessons and the patterns from this past year are going to give you the guidance for your next year. And particularly what I want you to do is look through all of these things for common words or themes that have come up again and again. As you write all of those down, you can do some reflecting on them. You can dig into them a little bit to really understand what each word means to you. You can even break open a thesaurus and find some similar words. In fact, one thing that I like to do is take a couple of my words and pass them on to somebody that I know and trust and ask for their feedback. Ask them for a word that kind of embodies all of the things that I might be working on. Once you've found your word, you can move on to step number 5, which is to do reflecting on the word itself. This is where you will define the meaning of it for yourself. You'll look at how and where you want to embody it in your life. You'll even look at how you want to use it to influence other intentions or goals that you're setting for the year. This 5th step is the most important step, and it's the one that a lot of people breeze over too quickly. When I go through this with people in the course, I really help them to look at this from every angle, because the more awareness and mindfulness and intention you can bring to this aspect, the more you're going to see your guiding word really making an impression on you throughout the year. Most people don't do that. Like I said, they breeze past it, and then a couple months into it, their guiding word has turned into a resolution that they've totally forgotten. Don't allow that to happen. Really sit down, dig into your guiding word, vision some things out for your life, and figure out how you want this to start showing up for you. The more time you spend in step number 5, the more you're gonna see your guiding word come to life in the next year. Like I said, if this is something that you would like some support on, some deeper coaching around, definitely grab my course on this topic. It's very inexpensive intentionally, and it's something that you can use again and again, whether it's the new year or just a new chapter in your life. By the way, my name is Tara Wagner, and I'm what's called a belief breakthrough coach. I've been coaching the past 10 years, helping women to overcome their limiting beliefs and their bad habits so they can crush their goals, not their soul. And if that sounds like your jam, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out what I have to offer in the description below. Be sure to also check out this video on 4 New Year's resolutions that most people are forgetting to set and that you really shouldn't. And this video for 2 more ideas on alternatives to New Year's resolutions. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.